Yo, what's up, world? It's a beautiful fall day in New York. This is How to Be Both. I'm O negative. I got my guest Mizu here. And we're gonna get started. Do you wanna say anything? Or you wanna just put something on?
It's a beautiful Saturday. No, it'll happen as I go.
Okay, cool. All right. So yeah, just play it off the thing, and it'll come through.
Another day understand my intention. Weird science, elastic tubes and pots and pans, bits and pieces and magic from the hand will make it weird science. Things I've never seen before, behind bolted doors, talent and imagination. Weird science, not what teachers said to from my hand. Why don't people understand my intentions? Ooh, with science, magic and technology, with science, things we've never seen before behind open doors. With science, not what teachers said to do. Bits and pieces, bits and pieces, bits of my creation. Is it real? It's my creation. I do not know. No hesitation. No heart of gold. This flesh and blood. I do not know. It's my creation. It's my creation. Ooh, my creation. Ooh, my creation. It's my creation from my heart and from my hand. Why don't people understand my intentions? Ooh, weird. Ooh, weird science. Weird. Weird science. Weird science. Bits and pieces, bits and pieces, bits and weird science.
She's alive.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Ooh, weird science. 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 Weird science. Creation, is it real? It's my creation. I do not know. Ooh, my creation. Is it real? It's flesh and blood. Just flesh and blood. It's flesh and blood. Weird science, weird science. Weird science, weird science. Weird science, weird science. Weird science. Science. Science.
with me and have no fear. Just close your eyes and disappear.
Step up to the mic. Oh, that's so much louder than the music. You can move it if you want to be more comfortable.
Ciao.
Because the low was way up. What's up?
What's up?
Thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
We've been talking a lot, just not on the mic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
On the couch chilling though.
yeah, as it should.
He's into it.
Should we get into the music? Should we get into the days of your week?
I will say, I'm not like a musical connoisseur like you guys. I can't give such descriptors. You know, when people ask me, what are you feeling right now? I don't answer them straight up. I give them a color instead.
Yeah.
I'm not going to be good at it.
That's valid.
Yeah, I don't think words or descriptors are necessarily my strength. I'm more of a write down and then it comes to me person. But we could talk about it. Yeah.
Why did you choose some of the stuff you chose?
I chose some of these songs because they help me to tune out reality. And what I mean by that is I really like my me time, I've realized. I guess I didn't realize that, but certain days, like rainy or cloudy days, I just love that I can have this excuse to not see people. I love that I can just cave in, and then when I put the headphones on, it's just like it's so good. It's like how do I say? A lot of these songs, especially with Japanese-oriented noise, it makes me like I feel this understanding within myself. Like I also think most optimally in Japanglish, both Japanese and English. And when I can feel that through sounds, it kind of brings a lot of, it calms me down, yeah, a lot, in a way where it's like I'm leaping also into my parents' era. Yeah, it helps me, it just really helps me to zone in. It makes me very inspired. I'm just giving you basic things, but yeah.
What's their era? Is it like the 80s?
80s. For example, I was living in Japan for 5 months, and there was a channel that would stream old songs from, I don't know, what is it, like 60s. And there was one artist, Akina, I'm forgetting the names. I can put it on, but when she came up, my grandma immediately I know this isn't my parent, but she kind of softened up and like, oh, this is like my time, and it was such a banger to me. I'd love to put it on.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think a lot about if my grandma were my age and we'd be sitting in this room together, how would that be like? Because we get along so much, but she's a very, all human beings are related. We're all siblings. She believes in the galaxy. She believes in using the right brain. And if everybody in society communicated with the right brain only, there'd be so much more empathy and there'd be no war. She writes it in letters and she just repeats this throughout me growing up. What
If y'all were the same age in the same place.
Yes, oh yes. But then, when it comes to her neighbors living next door, all of that and I wanted to have my boyfriend over for a day, just, because he was visiting, and immediately, the gloss in her eyes disappeared. She was like, if forever isn't in the picture, like, he is not welcome in his house.
Damn.
And she was like, your parents must have lost their minds if you can have friends or partners over at your family home. She was like, going to New York has messed their minds up.
Wow.
And I've never seen her eyes so matted out. But in that moment, I was like, like, music binds us together. I like the music that she listens to. But in that moment, when she, brought that up, she started critiquing everything. She's like, what is that lip ring? What is that line on your throat? And I was like, wait, what happened to the Ultra Galaxy Gray? Yeah. So I was like, and in that moment, I've always told myself, like, oh, I feel a little selfish for, making art or choosing art when there seems to be so many other things happening. Sorry, I don't have a cue on.
It's all right.
Can I get to it?
They made a fortune teller out there.
Fortune teller. That'd be nice.
Yeah, we should do it on air.
Providing that to my family. And I see my younger brother, really upping his game. He's studying business. But, so I'd always tell myself, if I can give back to my family, I do it for my family. Liberated feelings are important because it feels like a repressive state is very common and also very deeply rooted in all of my family members back at home in Japan. Even looking at my dad, but yes. So I've always held my family members in like a very high place, and I would cry in my youth. I'd look at the moon, and the moon would be my grandma's face to me. So she was just kind of like my equivalent of Jesus Christ. Because they were so far, it was such a distant thing. It was easier for me to put them in that light.
Yeah.
But now that I was going in at 22 back home, and also hearing my dad's side's family and like their perspectives on life, I was like, wait, I think it's actually okay for me to tell myself that I'm not actually fully creating for them, and that it's okay for me to also create because I want to. And that was really a freeing moment for me. It was at a dinner table, and I was like, oh, maybe it's okay, to just do what I want sometimes.
Yeah. I think yes.
Yeah.
I feel you though.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
But yeah, still working on how to not feel guilty so often when I'm feeling joy for more than 2 days. It's so difficult.
Yeah.
I like to hear your relationship to guilt and when it hits you.
I don't know. I relate to what you're saying. I think I have like kind of a historical relationship to guilt since my dad was raised Catholic, and then he kind of left behind everything except the guilt, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm, You know, I think like growing up, I saw that and I recognized that it wasn't like doing him any favors, but also I didn't really have another like model of how to exist. But I think I feel similarly. It comes from maybe a different place, but about like the difficulty of doing things for yourself as opposed to your family. Both my parents are artists and like had a pretty long. They both had pretty long careers in the arts. They met in like a theater company. My mom was like acting and dancing, and my dad acted a little, but mostly did sound. And for I think 20 years, that's what they did, and they had like different day jobs, but they like toured different places and with this company.
So they met at that company.
Yeah. Yeah, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. Like, I think I feel guilt sometimes because, not because I think art is like an invalid thing to do, but almost the opposite. Like, it's like I was kind of raised to see it as like the only valid thing to do, and that puts like a lot of pressure on it in a way, and also to feel like, you know, growing up, like their opinions and thoughts on art was like Bible to me, you know. But also coming, as I've grown older, coming to realize, I mean, I guess I always knew it, but the ways in which we diverge, and like the different, just the completely different like context and environment that I grew up in, and like all these influences that I have that they don't have, and vice versa, like stuff that I just don't really care about as much. She'd probably be mortified if she knew I was telling this on the radio, but the second album that I made, I was really trying to access that kind of tradition, because also the apartment I'm living in now is was like, he was like the equivalent of my godfather, basically. This guy Fred was my mom's best friend for like 30 years, and so I had just moved in there, and I was feeling super like connected to his presence and his art, because a lot of his stuff is still in the apartment, and feeling also like this huge amount of like, I gotta like live up to it, right? Anyway, so I made this album, and I found, or my mom found this interview that she did on like Columbia Student Radio back in the early 90s maybe. I grabbed some stuff from that. I found like a tape that Fred had made of a rehearsal that he'd done with somebody where they were talking about their processes and stuff. And I grabbed like some sound bites from an album that my dad had made back when I was in middle school.
Yeah.
And I like stuck those in different places in the album. And then on my birthday, I went over to my mom's place, and I was like, yeah, so it's done. Let me play it for you.
Mm-hmm.
And she hated it.
No.
She tore it to shreds, dude. Like, I think hearing herself without knowing that she was going to be there, like, made her probably uncomfortable. But I think also she just, like, did not like the music.
That would
and
break my
dude, it was rough. We for like an hour we were talking about it, and she was just like, yeah, this sucks, you know. And but I also, it was an important moment, because a lot of the stuff that she didn't like about it was stuff that I liked about it. You know, or like certain things, like she's like, you sound really angry, and like I was like, yeah. You know, but like I like some angry music, like some like punk or metal or certain hip hop songs, and she just like doesn't really interest her. So anyway, I feel like since then I've been kind of like, yeah, I don't need them to like love it. You know what I mean? What I really need is for it to exist.
Shout out Bach on this.
Hell yeah. Yeah, so I don't know, that's kind of like a long answer to your question maybe, but I think there's really no way that you can like really be creative if you're not doing it for yourself to some degree, you know? You can like make stuff, but it's not gonna have the like essence there if you're kind of just taking in like other people's guidelines or whatever and putting them back out. It's not going to reflect you. And I also wonder, like, when you're talking about like the kind of dichotomy between art and business, like if we lived in a society where like artists could be financially comfortable, do you think you would feel as guilty?
You think about that? I've never thought about that. Yes.
You do?
I would, yeah. Huh. I think the guilt also is just like looking at how my parents live their weeks, or just like it's on such a structured schedule, and they have these very logical excuses for not finding a new hobby or I guess my mom runs New York Marathon tomorrow, go cheer.
Oh shit.
So maybe it's just the weight of feeling like their sacrifices no matter what, even if I were to be financially providing, like, just comfortable through art. So I guess it's separate from art now. This expands a lot of other thoughts in my mind.
I think like these kinds of questions kind of have no bottom.
A bit.
You can just keep going.
Brand new, good for you. Dumping alongside the caveman, massive.
But
Yeah.
I don't know. From an outside perspective, I don't think you need to feel guilty about it. I also think like honestly, like your work is so it really feels like unique or like individual to you in a way. Like I can't think of even like I don't know any other artist I know who I would compare it to or you know what I mean, feel like you're doing the same thing. Like I feel like you have a really strong like sensibility that's your own. So it's a little surprising to hear you talk about it, but I understand. It always looks easier from the outside.
And also, I'm kind of like switching gears, but I've been running away from New York.
Yeah.
Heavily.
You don't say.
I mean, yeah, like being able to study abroad really opened my mind up to like, oh, I feel like the scene in New York doesn't really tickle something in me. And then, so right now I'm finishing up my last year finally at Pratt, and I would say I still feel like I never got to grasp like a sense of community that, okay, this feels right. And then I was speaking about this to a friend, like, being like, oh, it's so easy for me to find community whenever I leave New York, but when I was just like, it's difficult that I feel like I don't have a satisfied sense of community within my own home. And I was like, how could that be the case? Because I love the people I'm surrounded by. I love my childhood best friends, people I see, you know, even at school. Like, I have a lot of love for them, but I would always have this like unease, just and I was critiquing the city. I was blaming the city for it. And this friend was just like, it's not about the city. It's really about you, and you're getting lazy about putting in the effort to maintain or to actually search within the city, because if you have this, you know, subconscious mindset of like, oh, it's never gonna feel right, the city just isn't what people say it used to be. Yeah, so my friend's saying this ever since he said this 2 weeks ago. It literally lifted like a thing off of me, and I was like, wait, he's so right, it's me. It's just like a mental, you know, the words that you speak to yourself really frame your mind without you realizing, and that literally like kind of shifted my energy towards waking up every day 2 weeks ago, because I had this like, oh, New York. I have a love-hate relationship, but now I'm like, no, like, I'm gonna love my city. And yeah, something in the way that I wake up has really shifted 2 weeks ago, and I feel really good about this.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear it. I feel like I've been in the same place
Explain.
in the past. Yeah, I felt like, and I think this is the album I was talking about that my mom hated was coming from that place. And that's why it sounded so angry. It was like anywhere I went, I just saw like ghosts, you know? Like whether it was people or places or vibes or like
ghosts of your own past?
Yeah, I mean,
How do you mean by this?
I mean, like, I felt like I couldn't see the city as it really is, in a way. Like, I was just thinking about, and I mean, I still do, but I think I'm kind of getting better at, like, alchemizing it, in a way, but just going, like, I don't know, just going around being fucking mad at everyone who, like, moved here, or, like, at every new building I saw, you know, and yeah, places that are gone, or, like, yeah, people too, like, I don't know, I have an old friend who's, like, living on the street now, and other people who I don't even know, you know, what has happened to them. But it was like all I could see was all this stuff that I and we all have, like, lost in New York in the past 20 years, which I don't really, fundamentally, I don't feel differently about it. Like, I still think it's true and it's fucked up and it makes me mad. But at a certain point, I was just like, man, this, like, I either need to leave or I need to, like, put in the work to find what is still worth it about being here. I think my job was part of it too. I was bartending in Bushwick, and
being in Bushwick every day would poison you.
yeah, I can attest it's poisonous, and it's not just the lead coming from the train tracks. Facts. Yeah, I mean, but if I was over by Myrtle Wyckoff, maybe I would have felt better about it. But Myrtle Broadway is like the fucking trenches, man. Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of rambling, but
I understand this cynicism, and I felt it super strongly throughout my time at college. I'd be like side-eyeing, and if anybody mentioned that they were from the West Coast somewhere, I would just it would be an immediate, not like a judgment, I would say, but I guess in a way a little bit of a, yeah, and I've gotten better at just, that doesn't happen anymore, and I don't know why, but, there is no judgment there, but, I think leaving helps.
Yeah, totally.
Leaving helps.
I think that, like, I took this month-long train trip around the country back in the spring, and I feel like that was a reset for me in, like, the best way. I went to all these other places, and I was like, some of these are, like, I don't know, I felt like I was more able to, like, take places on their own merits in a way, like, New Orleans was the fucking coolest place, and, like, Austin was trash, and, like, just being able to have those thoughts and have them, like, in a way that was divorced from my own past and, like, my own history that I felt like I was carrying with me everywhere here, you know? And then I came back and I felt like I was able to see New York in a new way too. I think leaving really helps. Yeah.
My friend actually, she just came back from New Orleans and she brought back 2 pounds of wines made mushrooms. Apparently had it for 4 days straight. That's the kind of lifestyle I want.
Yeah.
It sounds amazing. It's sad when the closest patch of greenery to you is Fort Greene.
Yeah.
We're taking walks, and also New York is a lot bigger than I had always remembered it to be. I'm taking an interesting course at school called Walking New York. Finally learning the history of my own city. I've always thought that geography and history, it's really not in me, but because I've walked on that knowledge prior to, I'm learning so much every day now. It's like you feel confined to the train lines, or if you don't drive, which a lot of people don't, it's hard to know how much it has to offer. Really get a bike. If you don't have a bike, get onto that. It changes your life, and I don't mean a city bike. Which they're also expanding city bike stations past Church Avenue.
Oh, word.
Yeah. Maybe that's good, but I also kind of don't like that.
Yeah.
I was taken to Shirley Chisholm Park in Canarsie. Do you know about this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's like a 30-minute bike ride away from Kensington, and it doesn't feel like New York.
Yeah.
My friends love Inwood, so I'm planning to go on a biking trip soon. There's so much to explore, and just walking bridges that are not Manhattan or Brooklyn Bridge in the evening. Great time to chat with friends or who you get to know. Recently, I started this thing called Tea Talk, and because I'm in the school bubble and it's hard to maintain friendships because I'm really trying to work on that. It's easy to meet somebody and get along conversationally the first time you meet. But then the hard part is after that. It's not just about getting along the first time. It's about really, effort, and not just on your side, but like on both ends, because communication is hard. And so what I started was, I'll take just 1 hour throughout my school week before my babysitting job in my room to just invite a friend and we'll have a one-on-one over tea. And so this past week I had like my childhood friend. He was my second friend of all time in life, and we just sat for the 1 hour. And every time I have a different friend over, the conversation just like drifts in like a very different. It highlights the person that I'm with, like you were saying about how to be both.
Mm-hmm.
And I love that, and like just that 1 hour really raises just the quality of life. And for me it's difficult because I kind of am distant even with my best friends, so that has been a great way for me to maintain friendships without it feeling like, oh my god, I have so much to do, I don't know how to leave, I want to be there, I want to see everyone, but a week is short.
Yeah.
And so that's been a little helpful thing that really has been working for me.
That's great. Yeah, I love that.
But anything you can... Oh, do you ever struggle with how to balance loneliness versus social time? How do you work that?
Yeah, totally.
How does that work for you?
Yeah, that's something that's actually been on my mind a lot the past year or so. Because I live in Manhattan, and like most of my friends live in Brooklyn or Queens. And I think when I was bartending, I was being social all the time, but it wasn't like quality socializing. It wasn't nourishing in a way. And so I ended up feeling like almost even more drained. And then when I left that job, it was like really a new thing, or like a new challenge for me to like socialize in a way that felt good, because I wasn't used to even having a choice about when I could do it. You know what I mean? Because it was like whatever days I worked, Tuesday, Saturday, whatever, it was just gonna happen regardless of whether I wanted it to or not.
Right.
And then you run into people and you go out and whatever. And so like the past year, I've really been like, how do I do this? I have a lot of friends in nightlife, and they'll be like, oh, I'm playing Bossa, I'm playing Mood Ring, I'm playing whatever. And then I'm like, do I want to fucking go out there at 11? And it's the whole thing. But I think this summer was the first time that I felt really like I kind of figured it out, and biking was a big part of it. I like lived on my bike this summer.
What color is your bike? Do you have a name for your bike?
No, I should have a name for it. I don't.
Should have a name.
It's gray.
Okay. Ooh, I don't really know that many people with gray bikes.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Low-key, I feel like it's been like the saving grace of the bike, because it's like low-key a pretty nice bike, but it doesn't look flashy at all, so nobody ever wants to steal it. It looks like a Uber Eats guy's bike or something. But what was I saying? Oh yeah, like I think a big part of it, kind of like what you were saying about your, what do you call it? Tea-talk. Was making an effort to see different people who are like in different worlds.
Yes. Yes.
For a long time, my social life was centered around the bar, or it was centered around 8-Ball, or different kind of like hubs like that, which is great. Like I love having a place like that, especially like here where I can just pull up and I'm gonna see somebody who I would like to see, and I'll probably meet somebody new and like be able to do some cool stuff. But it's still very like limited kind of cross section of who actually lives in the city and like the types of lives that people have. My best friend from college lives here, and now he worked this like corporate job for a long time that sucked, and now he's going to school for social work. And so like his life is set up completely differently from my bar friends or my DJ friends. I think that's been a big thing. And yeah, like I was saying, biking places and putting myself in situations. Sorry, I feel like I'm rambling on every answer, but putting myself in situations also where I'm like meeting new people who I would not necessarily have a reason to meet. Like during the primary, I canvassed for Zoran a couple times and went to like Jackson Heights and went to like Newkirk and met different people in each of those places, and like kind of trusting myself to be somewhere new and like meet new people, be in a new social environment, and be like, this isn't gonna be life or death. Like I could make a friend, or I could only see this person once in my whole life, and I'm gonna have the experience either way. And it'll teach me something. Has really been big. Yeah, I definitely still feel like I because of the Manhattan-Brooklyn thing, like I envy, like I have a certain group of friends who lives in Ridgewood, and I don't really have any desire to live in Ridgewood again. I've done it before. But I do envy them that they can like bump into each other on the street, or just be like, yo, you want to get a coffee? And they're like 5 minutes away.
Yeah.
That's probably the thing that I would like to have, that I don't. But otherwise, like, it just feels great to like have it in your own hands in a way, which I feel like school takes it out of your hands too, and that, you know, like you're on campus with this group of people that was selected by whoever, some committee or something, board of admissions type shit. But feeling a sense of ownership over your own social life kind of seems like duh, but it's actually like I don't take it for granted these days.
I have a big dislike towards, you know, people who don't give it a second when you say something very obvious and very duh, and they feel like you're just speaking. I'm just like, well, give it a second.
Yeah.
Let me explain my duh moment, because it's a duh because it's like a, you know, it's an obvious thing, but it's so obvious because it's true, but it's overlooked. And I think a lot of the times people, like in growing up, like I'm really in the process of growing up, and you think you know a thing, like an obvious thing, but then when it is currently happening to you in that moment, it's so hard to actually know what it is, what you thought you knew, and learning that in like various situations is like, yeah, and then being able to share that with friends, and friends who have the patience to hear you out on these realizations are really good friends.
Yeah.
Like, I would never want to surround myself with people who don't have that kind of patience to understand and hear out those realizations. Yeah. And then also, no matter what age you are, it's like, the beauty is that like we're constantly learning and growing. Obsessed with it just makes me so happy to get up every day. Yeah. There's something new. Always something new.
Yeah.
Another obvious stuff.
If you're lucky, it doesn't stop, you know?
What do you mean? What do you mean by that?
I mean, I think we think of growing up as something kind of with an endpoint societally. Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think people like need to feel some sense of like security about where they're at or who they are, and so they put stock into that. This concept of like adulthood as being a more like finite or like static state than childhood, which it is in some ways, but like the whole shit that everyone says about how like your frontal cortex develops till you're 26 or whatever, and then it stops. And I feel like a lot of people take that in a way that like gives them permission to stop forcing themselves to grow. I feel like that's the main difference for me with adulthood, is like it's on you, like in a way that it wasn't previously. There's no institution or like parents or whatever that's being like, grow. You gotta be like, I gotta grow,
Yeah.
you know?
Self-discipline. They don't really teach you that in school.
Not at all.
Actually, schools do the complete opposite. They rob you of building your own self-discipline. But that's an interesting point. And I've been thinking a lot about like educators or just professors, and like the Venn diagram, like what certain professors do so well compared to professors who may be really good at what they do but aren't really good at or aren't like skillful in the art of pedagogy is like something that I have been kind of interested in. Can I talk
As a result of my study
Yeah.
in markets and economics, I applied my predictive techniques.
Is it okay if I talk a little bit about something I've been working on
Sure.
at school?
Yeah, please.
Probability is
So I'm
78%
working on my
that the
thesis
U.S. will be
project,
involved in a major
and
military confrontation.
I've been focusing on bilingualism.
In 1992,
I didn't know what to do with that topic, but I felt very like knee-deep about the importance of bilingualism. And then I didn't know where to take that. But then I realized throughout my time at school, it would be a thing where professors' patience or impatience would be really different, or just how international students are absorbing things in the class setting were so much more different to like a native monolingual person. And in many ways, like this kind of sucked. Like for example, one of the cons that I've seen in a couple of professors would be like, if a student has a more quote-unquote exotic name that's not like American or easy to pronounce, they would call on students that had easier names or like more memorable names like over and over, whereas like certain international students would barely get called on, or they'd always be like rounded off as like last to present. And these things are like so subconscious to the professors, and it's like you have to take note of those things because and then they have this thing of like, oh, international students are like shy or no, but it's like I've heard it's like kind of microaggressive when a student is trying to explain something, but it takes time, you know, like first of all, there's linguistics. Words are pretty hard to find, and I struggle with this too. Like, to formulate your thoughts, like it's so easy to know what you're feeling, but to then like translate that from here where you're seeing it in separate languages or visuals and into like concise words to describe your exact thought is so difficult. And then I see like professors rushing the thought or trying to, pick up the pace, and then they skip over a student, just be like, okay, let's just have like I don't want to use a name like a William to just describe this, because he'll have the answer for everything.
Mm-hmm.
And that stuff really bothers me a lot. So that is one of my focuses on my thesis. I want to offer some solutions in like the medical and educational field to maybe better that within institutes and people who teach. Yeah. Because don't pay so much for school to just like walk out feeling unsatisfied, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's something that's been on my mind. Do you speak another language? By chance?
Not fluently. I have like decent Spanish, but I don't use it as much as I would like. I get shy about it. And you know, when I think about why that is, it's kind of funny because I feel like this kind of goes along with your point in a way. Like the times when I have felt I don't know, like shamed feels like a strong word, but maybe like derided or whatever about like my skill level in Spanish has mostly been from English speakers, not from trying it with Spanish speakers. You know what I mean? And I mean, there's certain stuff. I mean, like when I studied abroad in Italy, and we took an Italian class when I was there, and like there's other factors to this, but like you would try to say like at a restaurant or whatever, speak in Italian, and they would respond to you in English. But like that really hasn't mostly been my experience here. Like I feel like a lot of Spanish speakers are like kind of excited to like speak Spanish with you. Anyway, yeah, I would like to become fluent. A friend of ours recently did like a 3-month thing in Guatemala, right? Yeah, at this like immersive school in the mountains. It sounded so sick. I'd love to do something like that. Yeah, I would like to get like really confident with it and be able to have facility with the language. But I was also thinking about what you're saying about the difficulty of language, and like how much language affects the way we think, on like a grammar, like syntax level, like where you go in the sentence, I think matters as far as how you think about yourself in the world in a way. But also when I studied creative writing in college, and my favorite professor used to always say, or she would always talk about like how difficult language is and how we think of it as something innate, but it's actually a technology. And like these great authors we would read would be like, dude, it's so hard to like speak and write, and like you're never gonna get it right, you know? And thinking of that as like a freeing thing in a way, but also just like a level on which most people I think don't really think about or engage with language, of like how imperfect and difficult it actually is.
If you have, or if you're gonna have children, and you or your partner do know the second language, I would highly recommend that you put in the effort to teach your child that other language. And also there's a common thought, a Western, hierarchical thought, that being really great at English equals for job opportunities or whatnot. But that's not necessarily true, and you would be able to grant your child the ability to think or to assess a feeling in two different, ways, because a word or term may exist to describe a specific feeling that may not exist in English. You're missing out if so. Yeah, so, and also, I'm sure you, I, all of us had friends who speak quite often about the fact that they feel like they missed out and feel disappointed that their parents didn't put in the effort to teach them language, because you can't talk to your grandparents that way. It's so sad.
Yeah. My mom is fluent in Spanish, but she didn't teach me. She trusted the New York Board of Education to do that, which is, I mean, she was busy too. She's a working mom, but yeah.
Yeah, it's true. That is definitely a privilege that I grew up with. My mom putting in a lot, and my brother and I. But yeah. Language is powerful. Oh. English dictionary, and I remember in middle school when I first experienced true social anxiety, I was so frustrated because there isn't a direct translation for the word anxiety in Japanese. So I think that's crazy. And so I flipped to the dictionary. I was like, okay, what does this say? And it just said worry. It's shinpai or setsubo. And setsubo means longing, and shinpai is just like a commonly used word for worry. It's like, how are you supposed to pinpoint the depth of worry if, it's like, worrying is anxiety, but that's not,
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting. Words are interesting. Another fun one is, so there is the word tenka, and depending on the kanji, one tenka, they're pronounced very similarly. One means to ignite, light, fire up, and then tenka, also the same, tenka suru, it means to change. Oh no, that's not the one. Oh, it is tenka suru, to change something, tenka suru, to ignite something. And I thought that they use completely different kanjis, but this was a lot of the wordplay that exists, because I don't know why I brought that up, but it's so interesting.
It's interesting, like, that. Is that the same, like, generally as like a homophone in English, or is it how do I put it? Like, in English, like, the letters correspond to sounds, at least in theory, right? So a homophone is just like, it ends up being the same sound, but the way you get there is different. And is it the same with this, or is there like a significance to the kanji that changes the definition? You know what I mean?
Significance to the kanji.
Yeah.
Yeah, like it's symbolistic, and I mean, even with one kanji, it can hold several.
Yeah.
It's like, there was one kanji really simple. It goes like this, and it can mean hito, human, or it could also mean to go. Grammatical terms are not my thing.
Right. No, it's cool. Zara, can we do your fortune teller? Yeah, let's do it.
It's for something else, which is why.
That actually kind of, yeah. Okay. Yellow.
That's where your throat
Couldn't figure it out. We thought that the color was to throw people.
I was wondering why you kept going.
This is huge news. Okay, we'll do it again.
Okay, yellow.
I woke up being like, I think I really want to do this.
There's a lot of body in your work, I feel like, already.
Oh, I never thought about that. Yes. Yes. Body, well, that's you. That's your shell.
Yeah.
So. Look at this. I keep it. I've become so much more organized and proud of this dream journal section.
Do you think like doing that newsletter
I wouldn't necessarily say that substacking is what helps me to get structure, but you can tell that I've become more organized over time. If I look, from like when I started, no, it's not that, but I've been into organization almost too much, and it kind of shows up in the way I I almost feel like a safety my first month and a half of being back in a dorm, all I had were just 2 calendars above my desk. And this would make me good. Or just like the mixture of like structure versus like complete, breaking bounds. Like that two together is like it's amazing. It's perfect. I'm realizing it can't just be like what you want, like everywhere. Like, too much maximalism is like it's not. There's nothing wrong with it, but I've been realizing that like with my focusing issues too, a little bit of like that within the maximalism, like that's a proper balance.
so it doesn't just become a mess?
Yeah, and if you do it properly, like maximalism can still come off as minimal. It's really great. Is there anything you find like a safe zone that you find yourself like gravitating
Yeah, I think lately I've been just like trying to break out of maybe I'm misinterpreting it, but like the places where I feel like the same.
trying to break out of certain
Yeah, like ways of creating. Like for example, when I make music, like I don't know, it's not always, but pretty much always start with like the drums. Maybe if there was a sample I wanted to grab, I would grab the sample, get it how I like, and then put the drums on it, and then build on that. And working in this kind of like layering kind of feels almost like architectural. And then like arranging things in a certain way according to like, 8 bars, 16 bars, 8 bars, like almost mathematical. And what I've been trying to do more of lately is like, for a while I was like, okay, how long can I wait before I put the drums on? Like I want to do as much as I can without drums. And also in time when I'm arranging something, like, can I make it to like 2 minutes, 3 minutes without any drums? And it's not boring. But also just creating in a mode of like loops and like the electronic way of like everything's very gridded and stuff, like that's felt a little restrictive to me lately. So like last week I went to the studio, my homie started this band that's kind of like a punk, I don't know what it is yet, but like punk realm of music, and he asked me to play woodworking class. I took a cyanotype class a while ago with my friend Praise, and I like working in those other media. Like, I didn't care as much that it was good, and that felt freeing. You know, like I really only cared that I tried it and made something. And I think it came out good anyway. So like, what am I so worried about?
Yes. Perfectionism is it's a high form of procrastination.
For
But it
sure.
feels like a good excuse. Perfectionist too about this. But yeah. That's nice. Yeah, diving into new mediums.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I could play drums. It feels so nice. That sounds liberating.
It's really fun. Yeah.
Like flute.
You should pick it up.
I've never been around instruments. Like, it's never too late. There's other things I want. One thing at a time.
Yeah.
My friend Johnny said SBS, step by step. I am telling myself this. One goal at a time. And if you complete other goals within that one goal.
Yeah. For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like for a long time I felt like I had no time, and I had to like get it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, maybe, but like you're still living moment to moment. Like you have time. I don't know.
It'd actually be so interesting to ask people if they feel like they're free along the time, like they're friends, or it's like a friend's only friend, or like constantly trying to chasing after time. I'm so future-minded. It takes away from my presence. But really, I was just talking about this with my friend Lola, who's in London. Like how to re-narrate your thought to not be grappling against time, like work, like, you know, walk synchronously with time, and then it'll feel like a week isn't so short or a day yeah, time is the root of anxieties, and
Yeah.
feel that.
Yeah, I have my ADHD means my relationship with time is pretty complicated, but I'm getting
Yes, same.
there.
We're getting there.
Yeah. Speaking of, we're pretty much out of time.
Okay.
But is there anything you want to close on?
Do I speak to the camera to you? Smile every day. Try to get at least 3 hugs a day. And try to be more aware of thoughts that move in your mind. The second that you wake up, if you can make that a little bit positive, that will influence the rest of your day. Shout out to my friend Ruby, who likes to say, it's gonna be a great day. I'm gonna have a good day. And it's so true. When I hear Ruby's voice saying this, my day gets better. So you can practice that. And if you already do, good on you. And yeah, stay grateful.
Thank you so much for being here. This is really fun. Next time, I don't know who my guest is going to be, but I should be back in 2 weeks. We'll see, maybe. I asked Galad
To be your next guest.
to be a guest sometime soon, but maybe I'll ask him to be my next guest. Yeah,
How to be both.
yeah.
Do you have like a how to be both kind of a
No, but I should.
outro?
Yeah, I should record a tag.
You should have an outro, yeah.
Yeah.
Audio tag.
8-Ball Radio.
No, that's it's gotta be different. Use your mixing skills.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, how do we vote?
All right. Peace, y'all.